Hello again, everybody. This week's show will be our final report from London, England, and the 2012 Summer Olympic Games. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. Well, the closing ceremonies have been held, the flame extinguished at Olympic Stadium, and the athletes have headed to their homes around the world. After more than 2 weeks of competition, the London Olympic Games are now in the record books and was considered by many to be a major success. The United States Olympic team had a great performance, winning both the total medal count as well as capturing more gold medals than any other nation on planet Earth. It was also a very strong ending for our U.S. Olympic wrestling team. USA Wrestling now has 2 new Olympic champions to celebrate, men's freestyle stars Jordan Burroughs and Jake Varner. The U.S. wrestlers won 4 total, with bronze medals coming from men's freestyle wrestler Coleman Scott and women's freestyle star Clarissa Chun. In addition, based upon the success of American wrestlers, the Living the Dream Medal Fund will make bonus payments of some $550,000 to the wrestling medalists. Congratulations to each one. What do you say? Let's take a closer look at the men's freestyle tournament, which took place the last 3 days of the Games. First, we'll take a look at each of the days of competition with reports on all the American wrestlers who took to the Olympic mats. We'll start with Friday, August 10th at 163 pounds. The 2011 world champion Jordan Burroughs went to the mats along with Sam Hazewinkle at 121 pounds, the first 2 Americans to compete. The expectations were high for Burroughs, who entered the tournament on a senior-level 34-match winning streak. Burroughs was also the subject of considerable media coverage prior to the Games. Typically, though, Burroughs made it through the media and competition pressure with his tremendous self-confidence. His Twitter handle, All I See Is Gold, stood up well. Burroughs did not shy away from telling people that he believed he would win the gold medal. Jordan Burroughs did not disappoint himself, or anybody else for that matter, with a performance which helped make him one of the true American heroes of the Games. Burroughs opened with a dominating 4-0, 6-0 win over Francisco Soler of Puerto Rico. His next opponent was Canada's Matt Gentry, an NCAA champion from Stanford who was competing in his second Olympic Games. Burroughs followed with a hard-fought 2-1, 1-1 win. His semifinal match against 2-time world champion Denis Sargush of Russia was perhaps the best match of the tournament, a rematch of another battle won by Burroughs at the 2011 World Championship Games. Burroughs won the first period 3-1, but Sargush came back to win period 2, 2-0. In the third and deciding period, Burroughs, with Sargush trying to defend, scored a double-leg takedown with 31 seconds left. Burroughs then followed with a 1-point push-out and a lead, 2-0, with 13 seconds remaining. Sargush added a late takedown in the final seconds, and Burroughs advanced, winning the match 2-1. Next up for the New Jersey native, a rematch of last year's World Finals. His finals opponent would be Iran's 2-time world silver medalist, Sadek Goudzari. Burroughs scored takedowns late in both periods for a 1-0 victory and the first gold medal in wrestling for the U.S. at the London Games. Burroughs jumped to the top of the medal podium for the medal ceremony, and then the notes of the Star-Spangled Banner played throughout the arena. With a smile stretching from ear to ear, he climbed in the stands searching for his mom and for his other family and friends. With the win, Burroughs will pocket the big check of $250,000 from the Living the Dream Medal Fund and a little bit of self-satisfaction for a job well done. The last U.S. wrestler to win world-level gold medals in consecutive years, Greco-Roman wrestler Ruthlin Gardner, 2000 and 2001. The last U.S. men's freestyle wrestler to do it was Kurt Angle in 1995 and 96. Burroughs is now a remarkable 38-0 on the senior level in freestyle competition. Well, he was very busy with the media after his win, appearing on the Weekend Today show on NBC Sports Network, on E!, Westwood One Radio, CNN, and with sports announcing legends Al Michaels and Dan Patrick.
It was amazing, exhilarating, surreal. I still can't believe it to this day, but I probably won't take this off for a couple weeks. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, excited to be the next Olympic champ, and I did it. I told people I was going to do it and got it done.
Well, Sam Hazewinkle also competed on Friday, dropping a close match to 2011 world bronze medalist Dalit Niazbekov of Kazakhstan. The score, 3-1, 2-0. When Niazbekov failed to advance to the finals, Hazewinkle was eliminated from the tournament.
He was definitely beatable. There's no doubt I had him on the ropes. He was out of energy. I feel like third period would have been mine, but But the fact is, he got the only offensive takedown. I made a mistake, and he capitalized on it.
Joining Burroughs as an individual Olympic champion on Friday was Russian Jamal Otarsultanov. Competing on his first Russian senior level team, he defeated Vladimir Kinchigashvili, the mighty Georgian. The score 1-0-4-3, that in the finals. Well, Saturday, August 11th was a very busy day in the wrestling venue with 3 men's freestyle weight classes up for grabs. The United States featured Coleman Scott at 132 pounds and Jake Herbert at 185 pounds, along with the big man Travel Delagnev at 264 pounds. In London, Coleman Scott was competing on his very first U.S. senior level world team, and many were unsure how he would fare. Coleman Scott, an NCAA champ for Oklahoma State, has had a strong 2012 season so far and brought his A-game to London. Scott opened up with a strong 3-0-3-0 victory over Sung Chul Lee of Korea. He followed in the quarterfinals with an impressive second-period fall over Malkaz Zarkua of Georgia, who had been 5th in the World Championships. In the semifinals, we go there now. Scott drew world silver medalist Togo Asgarov of Azerbaijan. It was a very close battle. Asgarov won 1-0, 4-0. Scott went into the bronze medal round where he drew Japan's 2008 Olympic bronze medalist and 2011 world bronze medalist, the always tough Kenichi Yamamoto. Scott lost the first period 1-0, but then rallied to claim the last 2 periods 3-0, 3-1, winning the Olympic bronze medal along the way. Well, the Living the Dream Medal Fund was there for Scott as well, paying out a $25,000 bonus to the former Cowboy.
Finished it off with a victory. I guess it's better than going home empty-handed, and it wasn't the medal I wanted, but, it is what it is. I got to build off of it.
Well, the U.S. had yet another shot at a medal with 264-pound big man, the 2009 world bronze medalist Travel Delagnev. Like Scott, Delagnev reached the semifinal rounds. He opened with a 6-2-1-0 win over Shaban of Egypt. Avenging a loss in the semifinals at the 2011 Worlds, Delagnev then scored a huge win in the quarterfinals when he beat 2011 world champion Alexei Shemarov of Belarus. The score 2-0, 3-1. Delagnev drew 2-time Olympic champion Artur Timazov of Uzbekistan in the semifinals. Late in the first period, Timazov locked up a near-side cradle to score the fall. Delagnev then drew junior world bronze medalist Kamil Gatsami of Iran in the bronze medal bout. Gatsami won a 3-period war, 4-0, 0-1, 1-0. Delagnev ended up placing 5th.
He beat a world champ early and then just got caught. One bad move against the 2-time Olympic champ. But I think, he was in a good position to medal again. He got in the leg, 4, 5, 6, 7 times and just didn't convert, and that was the key.
Well, all in all, it was a very disappointing day for 2009 world silver medalist Jake Herbert, who saw a few controversial calls go against him in key bouts. Herbert dropped the first period before topping Cuba's Humberto Arancibia 1-4, 8-0, 1-1. In the quarterfinals, he then faced an athlete he's beaten in the past, the 2011 world champ Sharif Sharifov of Uzbekistan. Sharifov won the first period 4-1. In the second, Sharifov shot in on a double leg. Herbert countered and flipped Sharifov through onto his back, and Sharifov rolled through. After a pair of reviews, Sharifov was given 6 points and Herbert none, ending the period by a technical fall. The initial call had been 3 points for Herbert. Well, in his repechage match, Turkey's Ibrahim Bulakazi downed Herbert 1-0, 1-4, 5-4. Late in the third period, Herbert turned Bulakazi, but then Bulakazi was somehow awarded 3 points in the exchange. Herbert finished 7th in his weight class.
All I control is my wrestling. I can't control what paddle they're going to throw up or anything like that. So I got to make it more, what I got to do is I just got to be more controlling when I wrestle. I got to take the guy down without exposing my back, and they can't argue that call. Well,
all in all, 3 Olympic gold medals were awarded on Saturday. At 264 pounds, Artur Timazov of Uzbekistan became a 3-time Olympic champion and 4-time Olympic medalist when he beat 2011 world bronze medalist David Modzbanashvili of Georgia. The score 1-0, 1-0. Timazov won Olympic gold in 2004, 2008, and 2012, and won an Olympic silver medal in 2000. Amazing run for this man. He also boasts 2 world titles. Togrul Asgarov of Azerbaijan, the European Olympic qualifier champion, defeated 3-time world champion Vasyl Kudakov of Russia 1-0, 5-0 for the gold at 132 pounds. 2011 world champion Sharif Sharipov of Azerbaijan won the gold at 185 pounds when he beat Jaime Espinal of Puerto Rico in the finals 6-1, 2-0. Espinal, who now trains with the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club at Penn State, won his nation's first Olympic wrestling medal. More news on our Olympic front when we return. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, Sunday, August 12th marked the final day of Olympic competition for all sports, and men's freestyle had some business to attend to as two weights had yet to be decided. 211-pound American Jake Varner would finish off the men's freestyle effort with an amazing performance indeed. Varner was a two-time NCAA champ for Iowa State and a 2011 world bronze medalist. Varner graduated and then followed his college coach Cale Sanderson to Penn State to train with the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. Varner opened tough by earning a hard-fought 1-0-0-1-1-0 win over past world bronze medalist Kurban Kurbanov of Uzbekistan. In the quarterfinals, Varner scored on two takedowns, one in each period, stopping Canadian Kiteg Pliev 1-0-1-0. In the semifinals, Varner drew 2008 Olympic bronze medalist and 2001 world champion Georgi Gagshalizadeh of Georgia. Varner scored early in the third period on a push-out to earn a hard-fought victory there. The score, 0-2, 1-0-1-0. The victory goes to Varner. That took us to the finals, where Varner scored early in both periods on a terrific ankle pick in the first period, and on a push-out in the second, he defeated surprise finalist Valery Adritsev of Ukraine 1-0-1-0 to win the Olympic gold medal and a check for $250,000 from the Living the Dream Medal Fund. For the first time since 1996, the U.S. captured multiple Olympic freestyle gold medals. A happy Jake Varner joined teammate Jordan Burroughs as 2012 Olympic champions.
Just going out there and sticking to your plan. You know, a lot of things can happen in the Olympics. You know, a lot of crazy matches happened earlier, and just going out there and sticking to my match. And I had a game plan, went out there and stuck to it, and scored my points and did what I needed to do. You know, we fell short in some of the weight classes, but I thought everybody came out and wrestled tough, and you know, that's all you can really ask for. You know, as long as you left it all on the mat, you know, that's what matters the most. You know, no regrets.
Well, also competing on the final day was Jared Freire at 145 pounds. Freire was defeated in his only bout, losing to Ali Shabanow of Belarus 3-0-1-0. After dropping the first period, Freire won a ball draw after a scoreless second period, but was unable to finish in the leg clinch.
You know, I was coached right. I felt good. I just let it get away from me. I let him get too deep and tried to wrestle my defensive position, and you know, they're good there.
Well, overall, it was a very strong effort by U.S. men's freestyle team, which won 3 medals, including 2 champs. The U.S. finished a close third in the unofficial team standings under FILA scoring, 38 points. For America, Russia and Georgia tied for first with 40. Talk about a close battle.
In 2009, we had 7 first-timers. Now we have 2 Olympic champions just 4 years later. We're on track.
Well, the other gold medal on the final night went to 2011 world silver medalist Tatsuhiro Yonemitsu of Japan, who stopped 2010 world champion and 2008 Olympic bronze medalist Sushil Kumar of India 1-0-3-1, that at 145 pounds. Competing over 2 days, the women's freestyle team battled and battled hard. There are 4 Olympic weight classes, if you recall, in women's wrestling, and 2 weight classes contested each day. The first day, freestyle, Wednesday, August 8th. 2 Americans on the mat. 2008 world champion Clarissa Chun at 105 pounds and 2010 world silver medalist Elena Peroskova at 138. Chun was wrestling in her second Olympics after placing 5th at the 2008 Beijing Games. This time, Chun was determined to come home with a medal. Chun opened up with a 5-0-1-0 victory over 2-time world bronze medalist Xia Zhu of China. She had 2 gut-wrench turns in the first period and won the second on a leg clinch. Her not to be denied, her next opponent was world champion Maria Stanzik of Ukraine. The powerful Stanzik took control early to earn a 2-0-3-0 victory. When Stanzik reached the gold medal finals, Chun was pulled back in to the repechage rounds. Her first wrestle back was against world bronze medalist Iwona Matkowska of Poland. After losing the first period, she launched Matkowska to her back to score a clutch second period pin and advanced to the bronze medal round. It was an old rival in the battle for bronze medals who awaited Clarissa Chun, 2004 Olympic champion and 2008 Olympic bronze medalist Irini Merlani of Ukraine. It was Merlani who beat Chun in the 2008 Olympic bronze medal match, and Chun was determined to avenge that loss. Chun hit a clutch double-leg takedown with just 3 seconds left to take the first period 1-0. Then she delivered a huge 3-point arm throw late in the second period to win 3-0 and take the bronze medal. Chun's bronze gave the U.S. its first wrestling medal of the Olympics at the halfway point of the 8-day competition. By winning an Olympic bronze medal, Chun also will receive $25,000 from the Living the Dream Medal Fund.
Not the color I wanted, but I'm happy. I'm happy that I finished strong and, didn't fall under, not believing in myself.
Well, Elena Peroskova dropped her only match of the tournament to 2012 European runner-up Anastasia Grigorieva of Latvia. Peroskova won the first period 2-0 on a pair of takedowns, but the Latvian controlled the final 2 periods 5-0-2-0 for the victory. When Grigorieva failed to reach the finals, Peroskova was not eligible for the repechage.
Yeah, I won the first period. Second period, she definitely came out harder, and it was just harder and harder for me to stay with pace, and eventually, I just started falling behind.
Well, it was a great day for Japanese women's wrestling as they won both gold medals available on Wednesday. Kaori Icho became the first 3-time Olympic champion in women's wrestling with a victory over Ru Zhu of China. The score, 3-0-2-0 at 138 pounds. Remember now, Icho also boasts 7 world titles. Competing in her first Olympics, 8-time world champion Hitomi Sakamoto Ubara of Japan beat Maria Stanzik of Azerbaijan 0-4, 1-0, 2-0 for the Olympic title at 105 pounds. We've got a lot more coming up around the corner. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Well, the final day of Olympic women's freestyle was Thursday, August 9th, and Team USA had 2 athletes in the field, Kelsey Campbell at 121 and Allie Bernard at 158 pounds. Campbell was competing in her first Olympics and had a tremendously difficult draw. Her first match was against 2-time Olympic champion and 9-time world champion Saori Yoshida of Japan. That in the first round. Yoshida scored takedowns in the first and second periods to down Campbell by a tight score of 1-0, 1-0. When Yoshida reached the finals, Campbell was brought back into the repechage round where she faced world champion Yulia Ratkovich of Azerbaijan. Scoring the only points, Ratkovich won 4-0, 1-0 and eliminated Campbell from the competition.
We had a game plan going into it, and I felt like I stuck to it. I made a couple mistakes. I mean, they were small mistakes, but against a competitor like that, obviously, there is no room for mistakes.
Allie Bernard was competing in her second Olympics after placing 5th in 2008. She was also a 2011 world bronze medalist. Her first opponent, the always tough Jenny Franson of Sweden, who Bernard defeated at last year's Worlds. This time it was Franson who got the upper hand, defeating Bernard in 2 straight periods, 3-0, 3-1. When Franson failed to make the finals, Bernard was eliminated from competition.
Good experience, I guess. It was good to be with the girls, good to be training. I was honored to be part of the team. I wish I could have done a little bit better, but it is what it is.
Well, National Women's Coach Terry Steiner talked to us about Clarissa's bronze medal and the performance of the U.S. women in London.
We knew coming in here, we really knew we were going to have good days to get ourselves on that podium. Clarissa had a good day. The rest of them didn't, and we're not there yet where we can have off days and still be on that podium, and it showed. It's bittersweet. I mean, we're happier than heck for Clarissa. She did an outstanding job. She deserves everything she got, and the rest of them, they got to keep working and get back to work.
Well, Japanese superstar Sari Yoshida became the second women's freestyle wrestler to win 3 Olympic titles when she stopped Tanya Verbeek of Canada in the finals at 121 pounds. The final score in that match was 3-0-2-0. Yoshida also boasts 9 world titles. For Verbeek, it was the 3rd Olympic medal of her outstanding career. Well, the Olympic champion at 158 pounds was Natalia Vorobieva of Russia, who pinned 5-time world champion Stanka Zlativa of Bulgaria in the second period. It was the 2nd Olympic silver medal for Zlativa, who also lost in the 2008 Beijing finals. Well, there was a lot going on in London in addition to the outstanding action on the mats for 8 days at the Excel Center. Just before the Olympic wrestling event began, FILA held its Olympic Congress with an election for spots on the FILA Bureau, the governing council for international wrestling. One of the candidates was FILA Vice President Stan Dzyk of the U.S. Dzyk received the most votes among the male candidates for FILA Bureau positions with 88 votes. Also re-elected were Natalia Uragina of Russia, Ik-Jon Kim of Korea, Nadid Lakovic of Serbia, and Dolet Terlikinov of Kazakhstan. Elected to the FILA Bureau for the first time was Al Sharan from Qatar. With the re-election, Dzyk retains the important position of Vice President of FILA. We caught up with Stan late in the Olympic wrestling event, and he gave his thoughts about the Games.
It's one of the best wrestling competitions. I think the passion of the athletes, the amount of activity, the quality of the refereeing, all stands out. There's always some situations, and the situations that you wish the circumstances around the situation were differently. But I always, in my mind, what's most important to me is, did the correct call ultimately, was the correct call made so that the athlete that should prevail does?
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Those watching the Olympic Games watched a set of brothers from the U.S. coaching in the corners in London. Penn State coaches Cale and Cody Sanderson were very busy as 3 members of the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club were in action. Cale, a 2004 Olympic champion, spent most of his focus on American Jake Varner, who came through with a clutch performance to win the gold at 2:11. Sanderson talked about working with Varner.
I just look at it as 4 matches ago he was an Olympian, and 4 matches later now he's an Olympic gold medalist, and I'm just really happy for him. He competed very well and stayed tough in tough situations, and just did what he had to do. And Olympic champion speaks for itself.
Well, in addition to assisting with Jake Varner, Cody Sanderson also worked with 2 Nittany Lion wrestlers on the Puerto Rican team. World silver medalist Franklin Gomez at 132 pounds and Jaime Espinal at 185 pounds. Espinal won the first Olympic wrestling medal ever for Puerto Rico when he came home with the silver. Gomez dropped both of his bouts against tough opponents. Cody talked to us about his Nittany Lion wrestlers.
It was great. It was great. The USA team, I thought they wrestled well. Their training seemed to, be right on par with what they needed to do, and it was great, especially to see Jake finish out there with that gold medal. The last medal here.
Well, USA Wrestling's national schedule continues this week with the University World Team Trials set for Palmer High School in Colorado Springs, Colorado. This event will set the U.S. teams in men's freestyle and Greco-Roman, which will compete at the World University Championships in Cortain, Finland, October 2nd through the 7th. Now, many of those expected to compete were top stars at the University National Championships held in Akron, June 1st through the 3rd. To participate in this event, an athlete has to be currently registered and proceeding toward a degree at a university or similar academic institution, or have completed a university degree in the year preceding the event. Oftentimes, the athletes who compete for the U.S. at the University World Championships go on to a lot of success at the world and Olympic level. For instance, Cale Sanderson, he won a University World Gold before he won Olympic gold. You can follow the action, as always, on themat.com and see the video coverage of the event on themat.tv. Well, ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans, that'll do it for our 2 weeks and 3 consecutive shows of coverage from London, England in the 2012 London Olympic Games. For all of us at USA Wrestling Weekly, we'll see you next week right here. I'm Scott Casper. Until then, good night.